What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley, and in this video we are going to talk about uranium, because as of right now uranium prices are skyrocketing. They're up by over 100%, and there's a very exciting pure play uranium company that I want to tell you about. So here is everything you need to know. Let's go. Okay, so the stock we are talking about today is called Uranium Royalty Corporation. They trade in Canada under the ticker symbol URC. They also trade in the USA on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol UROY. The company is headquartered in Vancouver, and the price as I film this video is $4.11 USD, giving them a market cap of roughly $381 million. This is what their logo looks like underneath. Their website is uraniumroyalty.com, and this is a sponsored video, but the business model at Uranium Royalty Corporation is extremely exciting because they are focused on gaining exposure to uranium prices by making strategic investments in uranium interests, including royalties, streams, debt, and equity in uranium companies, as well as do physical uranium transactions. And so this is a uranium company that is trying to get exposure to and make money on uranium in a variety of different ways. Now, the first strategy and the main strategy here is obviously royalties. And here is a quick kind of chart that breaks down all of the different royalties based on the different projects. So as you can see, there's a variety of different projects here. You can look into each and every single one of these, see who the operator is, where it is located, what type of royalty it is, the mining method, and where it is currently at. And as you can see here, most of the projects are currently in this sort of early exploration or development stage. Some are in advanced, and one of them is currently in production. But when we put this on a map, it's really nice to see because they're very well diversified. They have operations in the north of Saskatchewan, they have operations throughout the United States, and even a location in Africa. So this is a diverse base of different royalties and different projects that you get access to by just buying one simple stock. So that is really nice. And then the other way that they are starting to make some money on uranium, and this is actually being very, very impressive, is by holding physical uranium. Now, as of right now, the company has announced that they have 1.548 million pounds at an average price of $42.2 per pound. And as of right now, that equates to about $90 million in market value at a price of $58.40 per pound. That is the price on March 25th here. And so what's really amazing about this is that the company has already made $25 million just by buying and holding physical uranium. And just recently they entered into a new supply stream agreement with CGN Global Uranium Limited to purchase 500,000 pounds of uranium for delivery at a price of $47.71. And so they have already made a substantial profit just on this deal alone. And from holding uranium over the last kind of 1 to 2 years, they've done extremely well. Now, here's the price chart for uranium. So this is not the stock chart, this is just the price of uranium per pound. And what I want to point out to you here is that dating back to the summer of 2021, prices were in the $30 range. They actually dipped to $30 here right in August, and currently today, the latest price I could find was $59.30 per pound. I'm filming this on April 1st right now, and that is today's price. And that means that the price of uranium is up by nearly 100% just since August, and well over 100% dating back to the beginning of 2021, or roughly this time last year. Now, the main reason for that is because of uranium demand. There is increasing demand for this particular resource, and when the supply is steady but the demand increases, that is what drives the price up, and that is what we have seen over the last sort of 6 months here. And the reason for that is because countries around the world have realized that nuclear power generation is a clean form of energy that is more reliable and safer than most of the alternatives. And so China is currently planning for 70 gigawatts of installed nuclear capacity by 2025, and that means at least 150 new reactors. India has plans for 21 new ones. The UAE has just completed 3 reactors, and they have 1 under construction. The UK is upgrading their nuclear fleet, and France is planning to build 6 to 14 new reactors, and the list goes on and on and on. And so all of these countries are planning to build new reactors over the next kind of 5 to 10 years, which is going to accelerate dramatically. And on top of that, there isn't enough supply of this resource already, and we know that because the price has gone up by 100% in just the last 6 months. And so this is extremely, extremely nice to see, especially for somebody that is invested in uranium stocks like Uranium Royalty Corp. Now, the company has also made some amazing progress recently. They just put out a press release dated April 1st, and it says that they are pleased to announce an additional 1% gross revenue royalty interest on the Lance In Situ Recovery uranium mine in Wyoming, USA, operated by Strata Energy. And so they have just added or increased a royalty at this project, which is extremely nice to see, and it just increases that already very, very strong royalty portfolio. Now, dating back to March 28th, the company announced that it had made additional uranium concentrate purchases, committing to 200,000 pounds at an average cost of $58.4 US. And so this is really, really nice because they see potential here and they think these prices are going to continue to go up, and that is why they are still buying more. And I couldn't agree more. I think over the long term here, with all of these new reactors coming online, the demand is only going to increase. And if you can store all of this material, you're going to do extremely well when you go to sell it. Now, going back December 2nd here, Uranium Royalty Corp enters into a strategic supply stream with CGN Global. This is the one that I mentioned before, and this is really, really unique here because they have an agreement to purchase 500,000 pounds at a price that is quite literally like 15 to 20% below where it is at right now. And so before they have even received a delivery of this uranium, they have already made a very substantial profit. And I think that is just a testament to the management team, or at least in my opinion. Now, when we take a look at the balance sheet, keep in mind that this is for January 31st of 2022, so it is a little bit older here, but it was extremely healthy. We can see that they have $157 million worth of assets and $6.8 million worth of cash in the bank, compared to only $13 million of total liabilities. So this company is in a very, very strong position. This is a very healthy balance sheet, and their assets to liabilities here is a very, very strong ratio, which is extremely nice to see. And when we look at the income statement here, obviously, they don't have a bunch of revenue coming in right now because all of those projects are sort of in the development phase and they haven't sold any of that physical uranium. They're still acquiring it right now. And so obviously we don't have a ton of revenue here. We do have a bit of expenses here coming in at about $1.1 million for the last quarter. So that means that they have about 1.5 to 2 years worth of runway here, depending on how they spend their money. But what is also really, really nice about this is that they have this giant warehouse full of uranium. So if they ever needed the cash, they could very easily just sell off a small portion of that uranium to bring in the cash that they need. So very, very nice. I like the way that the company is positioned because it means that they're not forced to go out and issue more shares if it's not the right call for management. So puts them in a very strong position. Now, when we look at the stock chart here, you can see that we have consecutively higher lows. We have a bit of a trend line forming here, and that is very, very nice to see. And when we zoom in here, we can actually see a major level of support right here around $3.80. We got rejected here in February. We broke through it with some very strong movements here. We got all the way up to around $4.6, $4.8 here. Came back down to 3.8 and tested it at the beginning of March. Tested it again at the middle of March and tested it again at the end of March. And today on April 1st here, we are seeing a nice beautiful bounce off of support at $3.80. So if this continues going into next week, I think this is a perfect buying opportunity. Now, here are my final thoughts. Number one, this is a beautiful pure play uranium company that will give you direct exposure. So if you think that the uranium industry is going to do well, or you think that nuclear power is going to increase over the next 10 years, and you think that there's going to be an increased demand for that uranium, this could be a great option for you because it is a completely pure play uranium stock. It also feels like, in my opinion, most of these nuclear reactors are fairly long term. They're going to want to lock in contracts for uranium, and they're going to want something that is steady and reliable. And that means that there should be a steady demand for their products and hopefully give them a steady cash flow and return to investors. So in my opinion, I think there's a great opportunity here. As long as the price of uranium either stays steady or continues to increase, I think this company is going to do extremely well. Now, if you got any value out of this video, please remember to click that like and subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about how to analyze these stocks and actually do your own due diligence and research, I have a completely free course. It is hosted on Skillshare. There's over 10,000 students that have taken the course. There's 380 reviews for you to take a read through, and I promise you it'll be the best free resource that you can find online. Create an account on Skillshare with the link in the description down below. You get a free trial for either 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and you can cancel the subscription at any point. So take the 10-hour course in a weekend or whatever, however long you want it to take. Cancel the subscription before your trial runs out, and you are all set. It's completely free, and I hope you get some value out of it. Now, remember to click that like and subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck trading, good luck investing, We'll talk to you soon.